Well, hello, everybody. We barely made it. Every single week, I try to make it exactly on at 7:30. I had seconds left to spare before 7:31, but I am here. Thank you so much for jumping on. We're going to wait a few seconds for people to get on the stream. Good morning. If you're watching this live, if you're watching this in the afternoon, good afternoon. If you're watching this in the evening, good evening. Depending upon where you are, it could be any number of those times around the world. It's morning where we are in coastal Virginia. If we haven't met, my name is TJ Terry, and I'm the Executive Director of Operations here at Waters Edge Church. And I love these weeks. I'm excited to spend some time with you this week, digging more deeply into part one of your slash our church. And if you got the chance to watch yesterday, the title makes sense. If not, by the time we're done with the week, you'll be anchored into exactly what we're dealing with in this new series. Before we get started, if this is a blessing to you, if this is a benefit to you, if this moves you forward in your morning, gets you set up for the day, like it, and hit that share button and invite your friends to join us live or watch it later on. Want you to only help to build the community that we have that gathers together each morning to be larger and larger. And keep in mind, I'm not making this up off the top of my head. You can always follow along with me by using our Waters Edge Church daily devotionals. And so there's two ways to get there. One, go to our website, go to watersedgechurch.net/daily devotionals, or you can go to media and then click daily devotionals and you'll see this week's daily devotional. Another way to do that is to go same thing, go into the app, the Waters Edge Church app, go to media. You'll see daily devotionals, click on the week and you'll see right there. And not only that, but the PDF is there that you could follow along with. But 24 hours after, if you get behind this week, you can't make it on Tuesday and you want to know what was going on Tuesday before Wednesday kicks in, within 24 hours of this stream, it'll be on the app in the video section, so you can always catch back up. Okay, let's see who's in the chat. I jumped on a little later than normal, so there's a whole bunch. Do we have a full set of Cindy's? Do we have both Cindy's? I see us, Cindy. I see Amy. I see Beth. I see Jennifer Thompson. I see Deborah. Oh, we have a full set of Cindy's. That's awesome. I see Erica, Lydia, Pamela, Barb, Jen. It's great to see you. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Hope you guys are all doing well. I saw several of you yesterday, either church in the morning at Yorktown or Newport News, or church at night at Williamsburg. Glad to see you guys. What a beautiful weather couple of days we've had. I keep bracing myself that the weather's going to kick back in. But again, if you live in coastal Virginia, you're benefiting from what is some pretty amazing weather. When I got up to go work out this morning before the sun was even up, it was 65 degrees, and I breathe it in and it puts a smile on my face. I'm such a wimp when it comes to the cold weather that the idea that it's over is so exciting to me, but I know it's gonna jump back up and give us we'll have a flash snowstorm or something like that. Hi, Paul. Good morning. Well, excited about our new series kicking off for our birthday celebration. Next weekend's our birthday celebration. As a church, we turn 19. So we're just now barely an adult as an organization. I'd love for you guys to share in the chat maybe what jumped out at yesterday's service. And if there's anybody who's joined us that hasn't jumped in to see yesterday's service, they'll set a marker on their calendar for tomorrow night or Thursday night. Oh, 50s tomorrow. Oh, okay. I obviously didn't look at the weather before today's stream. 50s tomorrow on the coast. It'll be a little bit cooler. Is it raining in 50s? That's my least favorite. Compassion Sunday was just over a week ago. But I want you to know that if anyone here in the chat, anyone who's watching live or watching this later on has not sponsored a child, I believe there's still a chance to do that. I believe you can text WEC to 83393 and you can still get a child. If you have, I'd love for you to throw that child's name in the chat. Our new child, we intentionally picked a birth date that matches up with one of our kids. So my son Gabe his birthday is April 11th. Camilla from El Salvador, her birthday is April 11th. So we are excited to add her to our family. We have a seat at the table for her each and every week. And then this week, we kicked into step one of the growth track. So we did that yesterday, 2 o'clock online, and then on campuses. We have another way for you to jump into step one of the growth track tomorrow evening from 8:15 to 9:15 Eastern Standard Time. And in step one, you'll learn more about what we believe is a church and the part that God is calling you to play. And more significantly, Pastor Stu gives great steps in people moving forward in knowing Jesus. Oh, that's cool, Deb. Megan's birthday is April 11th, too. I'll always remember Megan's birthday from now on. Oh, wait a minute. I think Eric's on. Enjoying the cool breeze here, winds coming from Lake Victoria. That's amazing. Okay, let's jump into the devotional. 19 years. 19 years is a long, long time. I'd love for you to take some time today and reflect back 19 years ago. Where were you? What were you doing? What was life about? Where did you go on vacation? One of the things I love about my phone, my iPad, and my computer is often when I come into the computer, it throws up on the screen things that happened a long time ago. And it's not 19 years, but just yesterday I launched my computer to get some work done before services started. And there was a picture of my wife and my brother's wife on when we lived in California. We were doing a tour of, oh my gosh, it just escaped me. Alcatraz. Gosh, it took me a second. We were doing a tour of Alcatraz 16 years ago. And gosh, we look exactly the same. No, we don't. 16 years ago. So 19 years ago is quite a long time ago. I'd love for you to take a little time and reflect on, maybe celebrate all that God has done in your life, good and bad, over the last 19 years. For Waters Edge Church, it all started with 50 people willing to step out on God's calling to grow a church doing his work. At Waters Edge Church, our foundational strength comes from Matthew 16:18, where Jesus said this, "I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not overcome it." Now, again, I know Pastor Stu mentioned this yesterday. Jesus did not say, "I will build my church and it'll do okay. I'll build my church and it'll feed the poor. I'll build my church and it'll give people a little relief on Sunday. I'll build my church and worship will be great." No, I'll build my church and the gates of hell, the gates of Hades will not overcome it. What power and what strength. Jesus is still building his church today through us, through each and every one of us. Paul confirmed that the church has its foundation in Jesus Christ. And so we're going to read 1 Corinthians 3, 9 through 11. 1 Corinthians 3, 9 through 11. And I'm reading the Voice, you guys, just to give you a sense. I'm reading the Voice. "We are gardeners and field workers laboring with God." Now you'll notice it does not say we are gardeners and field workers laboring for God. He is with us. We aren't in this alone. You, each and every one of you are the vineyard, the garden, the house where God dwells. You are the vineyard. You're the garden, the house where God dwells. Like a skilled architect and a master builder, I laid a foundation based on God's grace given to me. Now others will come along to build on the foundation. Each serves in a different way and is to build upon it with great care. There is, in fact, only one foundation, and no one can lay any foundation other than Jesus, the anointed. So Jesus is our foundation, right? And we are to continue to build on the foundation. Each of us has our role to play, but it is to build upon that foundation with great care. Now, you guys know, I don't know how much you pay attention to home styles, and you may be like, hey, this is not one of my favorite styles of home is a craftsman style home. And I may get the exact description of it correctly, but incorrectly, but what it speaks to me about is the care given. I love the word craftsman or craftsmanship. It speaks to that statement that the home was built with great care. It wasn't like mass produced. It wasn't a factory house, right, where the pieces were put together far away, brought here, and then assembled like Legos. Each and every nook and cranny of the home was put together with great care. The detail is beautiful. So imagine our job is not to build quickly on Jesus as the foundation. It's to build upon it with great care and with each of our individual and unique strengths. So again, we are not all woodworkers. We are not all electricians. We are not all bricklayers. We are not all plumbers. Each of us has a role to play. Each of us has a role to play in building upon the foundation of Jesus and building God's church. Now, here's the other part. Not maybe only one of us is an electrician. So not only do we all have our individual roles to play in the concept, in the concept of building this church, building God's church together, your skill set may be the only one present. So it's so essential for you to play the role that God has called you to play. Take your unique gifts and talents and contribute to building his church. You were not given your gifts for you. You were not given your gifts for your job. You were not given your gifts for any purpose or reason other than building God's kingdom. Jesus Christ is also the head of the church. So we're going to read Ephesians 1, 18 through 23. And again, I'm sticking with the voice today, guys. Here's Ephesians 1, 18 through 23. Open the eyes of their hearts and let the light of your truth, capital Y, your truth flood in. Shine your light on the hope you are calling them to embrace. Reveal to them the glorious riches you are preparing as their inheritance. Let them see the full extent of your power that is at work in those of us who believe, and may it be done according to your might and power. And then it says this, friends, it is this same might and resurrection power that he used in the anointed one to raise him from the dead and to position him at his right hand in heaven. There is nothing over him. He is above all rule, all authority, all power, all dominion, every other name invoked, over every title bestowed in this age and in the next. God has placed all things beneath his feet and anointed him as the head over all things for his church. This church is his body, the fullness of the one who fulfills it all. So let's go old school. I'll go back to the top. We'll do a little NIV. I want to give you a little contrast there just to make sure we drive it home. Okay. I'm going to read that one again. I pray that the eyes of your heart may be enlightened in order that you may know the hope to which he has called you, the riches of his glorious inheritance in his holy people, and his incomparably great power for us who believe. That power is the same mighty strength that he exerted when he raised Christ from the dead and seated him at his right hand in the heavenly realms, far above all rule and authority, power and dominion, and every name that is invoked, not only in the present age, but also in the age to come, in the one to come. And God placed all things under his feet and anointed him to be head over everything for the church, which is his body, the fullness of him who fulfills everything in every way. Okay, so let's think about that. Let's think about this in the context of maybe our work environment or our home environment, right? Many of us serve the role of leader. And I would say to some degree, all of us serve the role, at least in leading our lives, but oftentimes in leading others. Imagine if you had the ability to be present and to speak into all aspects of all things that happened at work, all aspects of all things that happened at home, all aspects of all things that happened in life. How much more smoothly, if your way was the way, things would go. Now, if you're a control freak like me, that sounds blessed, right? That sounds amazing. But here's what's true. We aren't right in all our ways. I wish we were. I wish it was. Jesus is. Jesus does have the presence over all things, does have the power over all things, and can see and participate in all of the good works that his church is doing. And he is at the head of the table. He's at the top of the organization. This is his church. We have to play our role, but we have to trust that on the good days and the bad, he is in it with us, leading us in the right path. All we have to do is follow. And it's not easy. I get it. But we've got to trust in God who is present and with us all the time. He has not left us stranded. He is in this with us every day, and this is his church. The church belongs to Jesus, the originator of all things and the builder of his church, and he's still building. Just as Jesus created a personal relationship in building his church, it should be personal to all of us because we are working on his behalf. I'm going to say that again. Just as Jesus created a personal relationship in building his church, it should be personal to you and I. And Pastor Stu told the story yesterday about absolutely it's personal. If Water's Edge Church is your church, is our church, as mentioned yesterday, we should take it personally. We should take invitation personally. We should take advocating for the church personally. At the end of the day, it is Jesus's church. It is his church. But it should be personal to all of us because we are working on his behalf. We are his hands. We are his feet in our church and in our community. So I want to encourage you guys at some point today, and as soon as I get in the office, I will tell Alexa to play this song, but I want you guys to listen to it too, so you can get a sense for exactly what we're talking about. Moses said this, and I believe that it's true. There are times where the only way an emotion can be conveyed is through song. So I can say these words all day long, you guys, but sometimes you just got to sing it. So I'm going to encourage you, listen to Build Your Church by Elevation Worship and Maverick City Music. They came together, and I would encourage you to listen to it, and then I would encourage you to find a way to live it out. It is our job to build his church along with him. It is his church, and we should take it personally. Okay. So thank you guys for joining, spending part of your morning with me. I'd encourage you to share this with your friends. Come back tomorrow and bring someone with you, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let me close this up in prayer, and then we will start our day off, you guys. Father God, thank you for your church. Thank you for our church. Thank you for the role that we get to play in building your church in this world. It's never been needed more than it is today, and tomorrow it will be needed more than it is right now. And we are thankful for it. We do not take, God, our church for granted. We do not take for granted the people who are geared and wired perfectly with their individual strengths and gifts to contribute in building your church. And God, help us to be that light. Help us to know that the same power that brought Jesus to life from death is within each of us for those who believe in you. And help us to present that power in the world in a positive way that might draw others nearer to you so that we can continue to grow this church in a way that will change more and more lives for the better. We trust you, God. We believe in you. It's in your precious and holy name we pray. Amen. Okay, guys, that was Monday. We did it together. I will see you guys tomorrow morning, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Thank you guys so much for jumping in, and I